It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor?
Hello, neighbor. You're probably wondering what I have in this lovely plaid bag here. Let me show you. Look, physics. Now, the first physics puzzle here is energy. Energy is the capacity to do work. What is work, you ask? Work is the change in energy, or force over a distance. Now next, another puzzle. It's momentum. Momentum is mass times the velocity of an object, or the speed in a certain direction, or the quantity of motion that an object has. This next class, there are two. There is impulse, which is the change of momentum, or force over a time. And there's also torque, which we use with circular momentum, or that's in a circle. Or the change of momentum in a circle, which is the force times its radius. What is force, you may ask? Force is an outside influence that causes a change in momentum or energy. Thank you for spending this time with me, neighbor, and I will move it over to my dear friend Bob Ross to tell you the awesome things about work.
I'd like to welcome you to our new series, Joy on Physics. I'm your host, Bob Ross. Now, you can either pull out your paints and paintbrushes and paint along with us, or you can just pull up your easy chair and sit and watch. Today, we're going to start off with a little bit of energy here. And this energy... It's okay. Our mistakes are our friends. So we're going to start out with a little energy of a car here. And then we're going to add something in called work. Now, if you recall, work is the change in energy. So this is going to be negative work because our car is slowing down here. Now, this work is applied with brakes. I'm sure you've all experienced brakes before. And this is going to equal the final energy of our car. Now, you'll see this in a second, live in action, but this is going to be our setup.
I believe every day's a good day when you paint. I believe it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe every day's a good day when you paint. I believe it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here.
Hey friends, we're back. Wasn't that a nice demonstration? So, remember, the formula for work is force times distance. Now, when you applied the brakes, when I applied the brakes, it was over a short distance. So, it applied work and stopped the car. Now, also in this demonstration, you can see the brakes themselves on the wheel. So we have the wheel here, and then we have the brakes that we're applying force right there. Now I pulled the brakes on this lever. since I applied the force right here, it made the work greater since it was a larger distance from the wheel. Stopping the car.
Force! Time! Change in momentum! Impulse!
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Science rules.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Inertia is a property of matter.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
T minus 7 seconds.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Okay, as Mr. Ryder said, impulse is force times time. Impulse is also the change in momentum. If you have a larger time, your force is going to be smaller. If you have a smaller time, your force is going to be greater. And in this demonstration that will be shown in a second, you will see that. If we take this egg right here and throw it into the bed sheet, you will see that the egg will have a longer time before it hits the ground, causing the force to be less. Watch.
Science rules.
Look, it's not cracked at all. Now, when I throw this egg without the bed sheet, the egg will have less time before impact. Weren't those demonstrations so cool? Now, if we draw it out and we have the egg with the bed sheet and then the ground, when the egg goes in, there's a greater time frame for the egg to drop before it hits the ground, making the force less. If you have the egg going straight down onto the ground, there is nothing to help it increase the time before impact, making the force more and causing the egg to break. Let's get physical with physics.
Every day's a good day when you paint. I believe it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe every day's a good day when you paint. I believe.
So, work is the change in energy if we remember neighbors. So when I lifted the barbell, it increased the potential energy. So when it was at rest, there was nothing. And so as I lifted it up, because potential energy increases with height, I increased the potential energy while moving at a constant velocity, which meant my kinetic or moving energy was also constant.
That you can do it, cause you can do it. Give it a little touch.
Dude, I bet you I can lift this farther than you can. Let's go. Man, that's so heavy. Watch and learn. I win. So, when I lifted the bar with right here, it was a smaller amount of radius. So then it took more of my force to lift it, making it harder. When I lifted from right here, I made my radius bigger, making the force less.
Anyone up for some tennis?
Think like water. Relax, let it flow. You can go on and on and on. We don't make mistakes. We just have happy accidents. You can do anything that you want to do. Total power. Sing along, have a good time. This is your world. You're the creator. Find freedom on this canvas. Believe.
Alright friends, this here is a tennis racket. And since there's such a short time that the tennis ball is hitting it, is why it produces such a great force for the tennis ball to go really far.
Bring a lot of good thoughts
ever imagine things? Are they scary things? Do you ever imagine things? Things you'd like to have? Did you ever see a cat's eyes in the dark and wonder what they were? Did you ever pretend about things like that before? Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind.